Yeah, very good afternoon and welcome to yet another session of India Startup 360 Expo. And you are attending the boot camp session for the startups. And our special guest today is a multifaceted entrepreneur and who himself calls him as a startup as well. So without wasting much time, I call upon Mr. Shiv Sarovar to join the session and welcome Shiv. How
Hello,
do you
Mr.
do?
Varsati. I'm
Yeah,
doing good, sir. How are you?
I am great too. So, just a brief introduction. Can you rotate your mobile horizontally so that we can have a full
Sure.
view? Yeah. Yes, sir. Now it's excellent, excellent.
Nice.
Yeah, great. I hope you are sitting at the
Palm.
farmhouse.
Yes. So,
Okay, very nice ambience. Very nice ambience.
right.
So, see, the today's topic is uh, exploring the business opportunities and MVP, okay, minimum value product validation.
Product.
So,
Hmm.
and who else better than you can have better experience and share it to the audience, okay? And we'll also be joined shortly one Professor Balaji Varadarajan. He's heading a team of
Very nice.
enthusiasts in the robotics, artificial intelligence, and so many other areas. So he's there in
Fantastic.
another session, and unfortunately, that session got extended. So he's not able to join us on time. But nevertheless, first come, first served. So Pele up. So Lucknow style, may please start and go ahead. You can start sharing your views. I hope Nilesh will also be joining us shortly.
Yeah,
I
Nilesh will
spoke to
join in by 3 o'clock. Um,
okay.
so, just a small
See,
background
first and
from my
foremost,
side.
I what I
Go ahead.
okay. Yeah, I want you to start your session with your experience as a frontline entrepreneur starting way back in to 2001 2 whenever you started it is no from that share your short time journey, maybe some of the
Sure, sure.
hurdles that you have faced and so on, so that could be a case study for the viewers as well, okay. So with that note, I request you to have a brief introduction and start your session, please.
Sure. Thank you. Nilesh will join us in by 3 o'clock. So, we can send him this link
I
so that he
already
can
sent him.
join
I
in.
already sent him.
Awesome. Awesome. So, to give a small brief introduction about me, my name is Sarovar Shev. I was born brought up in Belai, which is in Chhattisgarh, steel city of India, where most of the rail lines which are in India are being built. I did my engineering from BIT, and post that I did my MBA from KJ Somaya.
Yeah.
Uh, and post that I started working with the Somaya groups for about 6 months. I helped build up their first online application system for all the schools which are under the Somaya groups, and that was highly appreciated. I was the head for or lead for doing the testing for all those particular applications. Post which I got introduced to rational software, so rational robot, rational rows, um, and one of the companies who were implementing those at Somaya Groups interviewed me for an opportunity with Accenture, and I went ahead and joined that group. Started working with Accenture for about a year. At the same time, what I used to do was I used to take training sessions, classes, as well as corporate trainings for testing and automation. So uh, back in those days in Bombay, I have done those activities as well. Post which I joined iFlex, and I was working with State Street account, and then I actually moved to US, and I had a pretty long stint in US and Singapore and back to US. At the same time, I was always exploring ideas about what I can do better, what additional value add which I can bring to the society. I worked on a couple of POCs. I built up some ideas, proposed it to uh, some companies to build it up. At that time, funding was a challenge, and I'll tell you one of the ideas which I proposed out about close to 13, 14 years back was to have a live transcription, right? So setting up, maybe now we can call it as a three APIs for speech to text, text to text, and then again text to speech, wherein if it could be done at the real time, it would be a live transcriptor for you guys. So that couldn't be built up due to the funding scenarios, but nevertheless, the journey never ends. So I kept on exploring different ideas, different activities, and with the work as well, I was playing multiple roles, changing my thinking hats pretty often. So I played as a lead, I played as an account lead for certain MNCs. I was also doing account management uh, for few areas within APAC and USA. And then I moved into consulting. Then I do business consulting, now business and process consulting, including business process assurance, business process automation, robotic process automation. Um, then now I'm pursuing my uh, degree with for the DSBA course, which is data science and business analytics course with great learnings. And it is tied up with the University of Macomb, Austin, Texas, wherein I'm building up specific modules, machine learning modules, data analytic modules, and getting it almost right now, putting up free of cost for all the peers which I'm interacting with. One of the examples which I built up pretty recently was, if you are working on a sprints and you are uh, not decisive, or you don't know whether the sprint would be successful or not, based on your past information which you have collected or you will be storing either in Jira, Rally. You can get that data inference in. We can put it up into a prescriptive modeling, logistical regression model which I built up, and you can easily find out whether a given sprint is, how likely is it to be successful. um, that gives them a prescriptive analytics point of view, wherein, because if they are able to see that out of 5 teams there are 2 teams which are not going to be able to complete the sprint on time, and you're getting this well ahead of time before the sprint starts or just a day or two into the sprint, you can perform certain particular actions by maybe resizing something, or adding up a couple of more resources, or moving a story from that team to the other team which might have a bandwidth, wherein you would be able to still go on the target for getting your MVP, like um, Mr. Pasha Sati was mentioning. So with that perspective, with that analogy, you can easily go about achieving that model. Uh, One of the other line items which we look at currently, when you get into the market and you see you want to buy a car or a bike, you don't want to buy a new one, you want to buy a used vehicle. Now in this scenario, you would either go to a third party, or you're gonna be going to a dealer, or other third party dealers, right, which are in the market. During this particular scenario, there are some companies which would do a thorough, maybe like a 100 point or 90
Shiv, I
point
would like to
inspection of.
I'd like to interrupt you for a moment. I'd like to interrupt you
Sure.
for a moment. Our friend Nilesh has joined us. Nilesh, can you unmute?
Oh, fantastic.
Hello.
Nilesh, can you unmute your mic and camera?
Yes, 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 yes. Yeah. Just a second. Yep.
Hey, Nilesh.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hello.
welcome, welcome, welcome.
So,
Thanks. Thanks.
Better late than never. That is one
Yeah.
thing. So take it further. Nilesh, Shiv is sharing his experience to the audience about
Yeah.
his journey till the point of establishing the concept labs. So
Yeah.
en route, okay, you have also joined us. So now I rather prefer it to be all in the parties and share your experience about the product development and the process that you evolved to come to this particular venture that is about this concept
concept
lab.
that.
And also
Right.
since you are there online, maybe you can even share some of the games and videos whichever is available to you, so that how
Absolutely.
an innovation can be of much use for the startups to pitch in the market. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
let me just go back to backstage and give everything online to you.
Yeah. So yes. Yeah. Hello everyone. Yeah. Thanks, Partha sir. It's organizing such a nice event. Um, I'm really thankful to you. Uh, Thanks to Shiv also, so for connecting, me over here. Now, yes, now I'll come to point about the venture or a concept of Concepts Lab rather, like how actually it came across and what was actually the idea. So idea was like during the school days we hardly had kind of equipments or kits or rather a kind of uh, you can say experimental model, right? So we hardly we have seen, I mean, probably, I mean, with my experience I haven't seen most of them practically. So I used to study through book and all this kind of ways. So now these days when I was exploring with almost many schools, and even I've studied and probably analyzed, uh, they are also following in the same that method. It's basically a theoretical based study. So I was thinking how we can probably have a kind of concepts lab where most of the kids or most of the equipments which we can come up with, so that these equipments or these kits can be handled or that can be explored with the help of various video manual or manual, and then kids can explore them, they can play with it, and eventually they can correlate those concepts with their studies. So because there should be some correlation. So but the idea is how the study can be more experimental, how they can explore concepts with the help of some practical aspects. So that's what the idea. And then we started working on. So the point was that which one product we should pick, where we can find the engagement from this kids audience. So we thought of several other ideas. So out of that we picked one, that is paper circuit kit. I mean, the simplest way how we can explain circuits or probably a basics of electronics or electricals uh, with the safest way. I mean, and with the cheapest way, how we can bring such kind of things. So it's not a probably innovation, since most of the other communities across the world, they were working on this kind of kits and projects. But still, I felt ki, there is no connect or there is no simple model available in India, which can help people to utilize such kind of kits actually. So we thought, okay, fine, let's start with this. And we basically created certain designs, and based on those designs then we further we moved and we got all kind of equipments. I mean, there is other resources like paper sorry, copper conductive tapes and all. And by looking all other parameters, all other quality parameters, we tried to choose the best quality components for this particular kit. And we assemble everything at one place. And you know now that particular kit is ready for kids to utilize, or they can play around it or they can play with it. and explore many things. So that's a very a kind of a basic idea behind this paper circuit kit. Now since
Hey,
we
working with peppers and one second, Nilesh. I have a
uh-huh,
question over here.
uh-huh,
Working with pepper and circuit is fair enough. Okay, but
yeah,
do you recollect any such event, like some hands-on you have tried with any of the equipment back home and then got rather praised by the parents or penalized the parents for screwing up the things or something?
or got a shock.
sorry, I
So
didn't give. Uh-huh.
that could be quite interesting as well. As like,
Sorry, I didn't get you. I mean,
In fact,
uh-huh. Yeah, yeah, sure.
so
Shiv,
what
can you
Parsarthi was saying was back in the days, right, when we were kids, and
Uh-huh.
we had to explore anything on the electrical part, right?
Yeah.
Uh, we didn't had any paper circuit or any other toys at that time,
Uh-huh.
so it could be that if I am fiddling around with any of those power points or power plugs or something, I would get scolded from my parents. Or
Yeah.
if I am trying to uh, during the Diwali times when we put up the lights, right, and a
Yeah.
bulb goes off, or we want to do something and you get a small shock, right, while you're
Right. Right.
trying to fix the tape or fix a light out there.
Right. Right.
So Parsarthi was mentioning that back in our time and our days, we never had some kits like this wherein we can explore how the circuits are being put up, right? How is the parallel circuits being prepared? How is the
Yeah.
linear circuits getting prepared, or buzzers and stuff?
Yeah.
So that was his question, and I
Okay.
agree with you, Mr. Parsati, that almost every one of us had experienced scenario wherein they have got a shock while maybe trying to fiddle around something with the power connector, and you realize that it's not safe to touch any of those equipments at that time. Um, so that is very true, but with paper circuits we have a very nominal battery which will never provide any such shocks to the kids. They can understand and learn the how the electricity is getting transferred from one point to the other, and at the same time, just like a eureka, right, when you are able to light a bulb by yourself for the first time, it gives a feeling of accomplishment within a kid, and he is able to see something which he has built and is working, and he would like to showcase it to his parents, his friends, his teachers. So those were few of the other driving activities from concept labs to go about creating a safe environment for kids, as well as
Yeah.
having the joy of learning any new things. That is very
Yeah.
important. If there is no joy, there is no fun, then it gets mundane, it gets monotonous, and just keep on reading something on the book does not provide a kid with the right amount of knowledge and understanding of the concepts, right? uh, at the end of day, these are the concepts which he will remember. What he has read in a book might get forgotten over a period of time. So, or once the exam is over, that thing is over.
Yeah. True.
So over to you, Nilesh.
Yeah. Yeah. And one more thing, we all say in India that we are far behind this, China, Taiwan's, and all in the typically hardware industry, hardware electronics. So, I mean, what I see, what we are trying to cater from most of the ways is like software and other part, like, right, but we are not frankly working on the hardware part, right? So, and hardware electronic is all about circuits, right? From basic to complex designs, if you see, it's all based on circuitry. Am I right, Shiv? Right? Shiv, am I right? Everything is based on circuit.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Exactly. Now I get introduced with the circuits in probably in 10 standards or 12 standards, where
True.
basically I get subjects like physics and other stuff. But now if you
Absolutely.
introduce these kind of things in front of them from the, let's say, from 5th to 7th standards, so definitely they can explore many things, and they can probably figure out, or they can probably envision multiple projects, and they can get a lot of motivation from this kind of kids, basically, because for them it's sometimes it's a magic, but then they try to correlate with their studies, and then they realize how things works basically. So that is basically the idea. Being a software based industry, India should focus on the hardware based industry too, right? And how we can motivate them? Yes, we should give them a kind of these kind of kits and toys, so that they can explore more on the hardware part apart from the software. I don't have any negative ways at the software side, but yes, we certainly should have a hardware part as well. That's what I feel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And with that thought process, right, we would be moving ahead with our Concept Lab second project as well. We are working on to the concepts of building up hydraulic crane. We are
Right.
working on building up a model for a tractor. We usually see bikes and motor cars and stuff, but we don't see tractors being built up. That's another thing which is very close to our heart. And then we are also working on building up a solar kit for kids for a given house, right, which would have the
Exactly.
understanding or concepts of the electricity along with the renewable source of energy, solar energy. So
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
another plus point which we are bringing up to the table. Nilesh, you want to give some more background on that?
Yeah, I mean, one more thing, like I mean, rightly said by Shiv. Uh, so STEM is covered, right? But then something it's newly. I mean, it's not new perhaps, but art has been introduced in STEM, right? So now it's a STEAM. So now we are trying to add more art, or uh, I mean, more artistic way. How we can introduce STEM rather, right? So how it could be a fun, or from the artistic point of view, so that they can color it, they can do a lot of design on top of it, right? So art is something what we are trying to add on top of this with all these kind of models. So let's take an example of paper circuit. So what we do, it's, let's say, a greeting card. So people, so kids basically color all that design, and backside they design their circuits, and then they glow, and then they light it up. So the idea is the circuits assembly, the science behind it, and as well as the art also, so that they can color it, they can draw it, right? So we're trying to mix this art as well in the same part, so that it makes a more relevance for them, and it will have a greater engagement from their side.
Nilesh, I am getting curious to watch some of your games that have been designed, and can we have any
Yeah,
video or any practical that can be conducted, whichever is
yeah, yeah,
convenient to you? Okay.
yeah. So I can, shall I show you something right away?
Yeah, yeah. Please share your
Yeah,
desktop.
I'll show, share it. Yes.
So sorry, I was talking on mute. Pretty common
Yeah,
nowadays. While Nilesh is trying to get that thing up, I wanted to get some more input for others that we are uh, already in process of building up proposal for creating a STEAM competition. We should not call it a competition, but since it would be something wherein everybody would be coming together and showcasing their uh, STEAM projects. We are calling it as a competition or a art gallery, even if you can say um, STEAM gallery.
yeah.
So we
Okay.
are already working onto that front, and we would also provide some more input on that. So over to Nilesh.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, Nilesh.
I'll discuss on those points after Nilesh's presentation. Yeah,
Yeah,
Nilesh, your screen is
Sure.
up now. You can go ahead.
yeah. I think, yeah. So So I'll tell you more about this also. Yeah. So we can demonstrate something like solar eclipse also. Let's say. So this kind of designs they can have. Then yes. So yeah. So
Is
I'll
it a
tell
book
you.
or kit or what is that? How it,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
comes?
Yeah. So it's basically a box. So let's say Soham is working on that. So, so this is a paper conductive tape basically. So Santa Claus. I'll tell you how it looks actually. Yeah. So I'll show you like one experiment like how. Uh, so backside this is a circuit. So we provide basically a bunch of papers. These are high GSM papers actually, and we actually print circuits on them, and we give it to them along with all these kits equipments like copper conductive tapes, LEDs, and all those things. So kits includes all this stuff. So this is how these kits can actually add. Uh,
Is it a predefined template or they can
yeah, yeah,
make their
yeah.
own and then do it something?
Yeah, so we provide both the things. It's like a predefined templates, and so that they can add these adhesive, conductive adhesive over there, as well as we give them a plain paper also, so that they can have their own circuits and they can try out their own designs as well.
So these
So
papers are available with you, or they can buy at any stationery shop. The high GSM papers, as you mentioned,
yeah,
they
so
can
we
buy
procure
anything.
them. Yeah, we procure them basically. And now, as of now, we have our own printer. Since in the lockdown we were not able to go out and print, so
Okay,
we have purchased printers, and we started printing in house only. Now we are
excellent,
actually
excellent.
outsourcing this outside, so that we'll have a set of these templates along with all these printouts, along with the
Okay,
manual
okay.
also. So we provide a manual also. uh, then we do have this paper circuit kit unboxing also, which is
Hey, Nilesh, instead of outsourcing, why don't you develop a community sort of thing? Okay, students and entrepreneurs, they come together and join your mission and try their mind and develop something new or something like that. Is there any such
yeah
thing
that
in
can
plan?
that can be try out. Yeah, certainly we are open for that. Right.
So,
Right.
how do you like to go about it? It's like, what's your
Yeah.
game plan, future? How many games as of now you have, and
Yeah.
how
So yeah.
economical or how costly they are?
So this kit has 10 project actually. You can say 10 games actually in one box. So let me complete this.
This is the conductive copper tape. These are the LEDs. This is paper fastener and paper clip. And this is buzzer and register. This is 2032 coin battery. This looks like the manual and the circuit templates. Let's see one by one. looks like project manual. And these are the circuit templates. This is a simple circuit, register circuit, series circuit, parallel circuit, switch circuit, cupcake circuit. Wow, I will be able to make my own cupcake, and that's the Santa Claus circuit. These are the circuits I made using video tutorials and manual. How to make a parallel circuit. Hooray! This is the cupcake project I made for my friend on her birthday. This is the police car circuit. Tino, Tino. This is the doorbell circuit. This is the traffic signal project. Thanks for watching our video.
Yeah, yes, sir. Sorry. Yeah. So now the idea is basically, as you said, like we can definitely outsource most of the things, like in terms of the printing part, as well as most other components also, which we basically arrange. So yes, there is a possibility. Am I correct, Shiv? Hello. Yeah, Shiv.
Yes.
Yeah, Shiv. I'm not able to hear you.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you to hear me now?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
you're clear.
Yes, yes. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So what I wanted to mention was this was the most economical way of us learning it, and it helps the kid to understand the entire aspects of circuits and electricity. With respect to outsourcing and including other communities and people to come aboard and work onto a particular idea, we are very open to it. We would love to have folks from the industry who would have similar ideas, similar ambitions, or interest uh,
Hey, tell me one thing.
towards
This
creating. Yeah,
is it any special printing or any normal inkjet printer can do the printing? How is it?
an inkjet
I am
printer can also print it out. We actually provide an option for kids to download certain of these circuits from our websites also. The 10 are being provided by us as part of the kit, but the kids would have the option of downloading new circuits from our websites, and they can also create their own from their
hey,
imaginations, right?
that was the
They can
main
use
idea of my
normal paper
question.
as well. They can use the normal paper as well, but normal paper will not be that sturdy. So it is advisable if they use a bit of a GSM paper.
Okay, okay. So any competition or convention or something like that you have carried out earlier in any schools or whatever? The target audience are only school children, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
age is no limit.
yeah,
Age is no limit. Of
um,
course, everybody is a child himself. That is something
yeah, yeah,
different. See,
yeah.
I am just only exploring the possibilities of the expansion or any additional possibilities of people, more and more people joining your community and venturing into it. From that prospect,
right,
I'm asking it. Why?
right,
Because
right.
yesterday we had two special guests over here. They are from the Atal incubation centers.
Oh, nice.
We had one of the senior mentor, Dr. Abdul Shakur. He
Uh-huh.
represents the Niti Ayog. He was there,
Very
our
nice.
special invitee yesterday, and they have about 25 centers across the country. Okay, and
Wow.
most of them they target the school children to be more innovative and come out with novel
Creative.
ideas.
Yeah.
So I just tying with the idea of how to take these things further and then develop it. Why I
Okay.
asked about the
Absolutely.
inkjet printer is, suppose somebody can design a much intricate circuit and then come with some new ideas. So will you be
Absolutely.
interested to buy the concept and then make it your thing, or how you can take it as a community and promote it? Because you people are working very strongly on AI and other aspects as well. So, okay, from
Yes.
that prospect, I am asking, what are the opportunities you see for any startup to come into this domain? Because earlier, when the 3D printing was introduced, people had apprehension and like they said, no, 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 where it is going to work, it's all costly and so on and so forth. Now it has become the necessity of the industry for any innovation to prototype it. So
Absolutely.
this could be a much better idea to prototype the concepts and then come out with that. Even the industry may go for it. Okay, I do not know what is your roadmap and how would you like to take it. I do not know. So that is the reason why I am putting for this question how it can be taken up.
Right, right. So, Mr. Pasati, we are actually we want to bring this up to the school kids um to get them to learn as part of their curriculums as well. But we would like to introduce it as a multifacets, uh, like a extracurricular activity or within the project activities, right? Within the curriculum, there are like 4 or 5 chapters for which we will create specific projects for them for each age group from, or say from class 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 perspective, because those are the kids who does not get to go too much into the experiments or labs. So we are in process of creating those kits, and then we'll take it forward to different schools and institutions to promote it further, and we invite everybody who would like to be part of our journey. And I'm sure it would be learning as well as a profitable
No,
experience.
taking it further as curriculum or whatever it is, there has to be some mapping with respect to the syllabus. Okay, that is the
Right.
primary task. Have you done any homework upon that?
Yes, yes. So we do. Mine and Nilesh are both kids are in the fourth standard. My brother's son is in fifth standard. So we actually went through their course curriculum to look at exactly what they are trying to learn in, say, science or social science. And within the fourth standard itself, they learn about renewable energies. They learn about different levers, the force actions, whether it's a simple lever, whether it's a pulley. So like that, they are already learning those aspects. And if the same concept is being taught to them by building up a project or a kit by themselves, right? That would be a phenomenal way for them to understand the forces or energy, even renewable energy of solar, which we just mentioned. We are looking up something for a wind energy as well to uh, to help the kids to understand how it is able to generate electricity. In fact, I do remember one of kid or a college going student from Andhra Pradesh. He actually built up the windmill to produce electricity as well as to generate fresh drinking water for himself and his
Quite true.
community over there, which was one of the ideas which was being discussed by Shri Narendra Modi ji, our Prime Minister. And I did read a lot about post his speech. There were a lot of folks who were saying that it was just statement being made that cannot be possible, and it was made possible by another kid, I would say. So it's fantastic to see the implications of simple things which were being used to build up a renewable resource of not only providing electricity but fresh water. So it was absolutely fantastic to see that.
Quite true. Quite true. So take it further, like I am just looking at broader prospect. How can you involve this electrical and electronic guys, maybe in the ITIs or polytechnics, and then create an awareness and then work upon, because not everybody can go for a PCB printing or whatever it is. Okay,
Right, right, right.
and how complicated these things were? Will you be able to print say 2 layer, 3 layer PCB or something like that?
So printing is not that costly. Like I said, if they are using just the regular paper, also they can do the printing and use the same copper conductive tape. That copper conductive tape which we provide with the kit is pretty long enough, and you'd still have a lot remaining post your 10 experiments. So you will definitely use it further. For introducing the kids from the Polytechnic and IIT and ITI side of it, our goal is to create a concept labs. That's why we call it as a concepts lab, because we want to create these concepts lab not just at one place, but in all the kids' homes or a group or within a school, right? For a younger kids, a concepts labs to be created for kids to go and explore over there. And as a matter of fact, what we did was for every 10 boxes which we sell on Amazon or on our website, we actually donate one box to a underprivileged kid or a school, in order to make sure that the same level of experience or information is being uh, shared across the entire group. So due to these lockdowns right now, the schools are closed. As soon as they are open, we would be definitely reaching out to them and sharing our kits with them.
Yeah. Hello.
Dilesh sir, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you want to add something?
Yes, yes, yes. So this is what we're thinking actually on this line. So we're trying to add some more, models. We're trying to I mean, explore more on top of this particular model. So more designs as well as experimentations can be possible in future. So this will be a certainly a ecosystem now uh, for STEM based education rather. So we're thinking to add up
Right.
several things like STEAM Fest. So which just now she was saying we are planning to have one STEAM Fest actually, that is festival of all these kind of science and art based activities. So probably in the month of January end or February first week, we are planning to have this event, so that more kids can participate, and they can also come up with their own ideas, and we can also have a kind of platform for them. That's what the idea is.
Yeah, to showcase their
Yeah, yeah,
adventures
How
and
economically
learnings.
priced? How economically priced these things are?
yeah. So yeah, so Shiv can add on this. Yeah. So
Sure. So economically priced, I can tell you that if you go into the market for learning the circuits and all, you'll come across close to 2,000 to 3,000 rupees kit, and ours is just one fourth of that particular price. And that's how economical this is. That's how cheap it is for kids to explore new ways of learning technology, as well as something which they would always remember, uh, of building up their first circuit, lighting up their first light bulb or buzzer, or creating their first solar kit. So we are looking up for all those options, and we have a objective of making sure that these are cost effective. It should not be that there's a bend to the pocket or a pocket for the parents, but it should be more in terms of very economical, economically placed and accessible for everybody.
yeah, yeah, and it is available now, available on Amazon also. So we basically started this activity I think 2 months back. So now the product is available on Amazon, and it is also approved on Flipkart as well. So yes, we are thinking to add more this kind of marketplace. Kelia, so I mean she was trying actually,
Right,
right? So
right, right.
yes, so yes now, see example. I'm sorry. So yes, on Amazon we can see this product, and people have a good review so far. And
Absolutely, absolutely.
yeah, so yesterday only we have actually two orders from Mumbai and one is from Bangalore. So I can see, I mean, from all these orders, I can see mostly we are receiving orders from Bangalore and Hyderabad. So, and yes, from the north side, from Delhi, we have received quite orders, but more orders we see from Bangalore and Hyderabad, from south side. That is something interesting.
Hope,
Is it because of
yeah.
lack of
Hopefully, with
awareness
this
or
exposure, there would be some more traction on the Pune side as well, Pune, Mumbai.
no, no, that's not. How do you propagate it? How do you popularize your product, the concept? Only social media or any print media or word of
Yes.
mouth?
Yeah, so far, what we are doing, we have started a channel, Concepts Lab channel, and all what we do, all these activities we record and we share across all these platform like Facebook page as well as YouTube and
Right,
WhatsApp, and we
right.
keep on sharing these things in our network as well. So at this level, yes, we have explored this much.
Is there any copyright or other patenting you have done for this, or it is open to by anybody's ideas, or anybody can
Yeah,
do
this
that?
is basically open. This is basically open because uh, these are I don't think there is much patenting can be done on top of this, but yes, so designs we can certainly have the rights or copyrights, uh, but as of now we have brought them under common creative license only, so that
Right,
more people can share, download and utilize. So I feel like that way it can propagate in a greater way, because what I have seen, sir, uh, people, I mean, students or parents can download or they can even design their own things, but out of that they may not get these components like copper conductive tape. At this moment, if I try to search copper conductive tape in Pune, not a single shop can offer me this conductive copper tape part, not a single. I have explored every gully in Pune, I haven't seen. In Bangalore also I haven't seen. Now only on Amazon it is available, and that to cost of 540 or 560. I mean, only copper conductive tape cost is 540 rupees on Amazon. If I
That
show
is
you,
per meter. Is it per meter?
yeah, it's they sell it in 25 meters or 15 meters bundle actually. That copper conductive tape, right? So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's in meter, right? Yeah, it's in meter. So we provide 10 meters, copper conductive tape in each kit actually, and it is with very high quality conductive tape which we manufacture in Bangalore actually.
Okay, so I think both of you might have gone through our expo that is going live as a part of it. This, of course, the boot camp is going on. Have you
Right.
seen the platform and have you explored it? Do you feel that is there any possibility that this platform can be used as a medium to conduct some competitions or events, something like that virtually?
Yeah, yeah. It is really
absolutely.
good. Yeah. This is really worth and great. I mean, now it's not only because during this period, but my recommendation, and I used to insist people that we should always have this kind of platform because it saves the time, traveling time. All these nitty gritties can be saved, and at the
Right,
same time, we can achieve what we are looking for.
Yeah, your
So,
audience is wide. You have global reach, and
yes,
the
yes,
moment it is popular, anybody from who knows,
exactly.
maybe from other countries, people can join and do
Yes,
something
yes,
like that.
yes, yes.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely. And we welcome that.
so
Yeah,
we
yeah,
are open to it. We are open to it. Maybe the Jan event, what you are telling that if you want to use our platform, you are welcome. And
yeah,
of course, the
definitely.
other so the other gentleman is trying to log in. That he's a
Sure,
kid
sure.
who plays with. 1 second. 404 error it can't be. Just maybe you can keep sharing some of your ideas. I'll just go backward and come back. I'll help him to join and come back. Okay,
Sure.
Yeah,
maybe you can share some of your interesting stories.
yeah. So, so you are in farm right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Cool, cool.
stepped out and I wanted to come into the farm.
Exactly.
Um, and I got my son Soham with me over to the farm, and we actually bought bow and arrow, and we were trying to do some target practicing and
Cool, cool,
trying to shoot some arrows up.
cool,
At the
cool.
same time, we came to pick up some of our harvest,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fresh coriander,
Right, right,
spinach,
right,
um, radishes.
right. How is the
So
pumpkin? Pumpkin tree. Have you seen? Yeah, those.
yeah, yeah, it
Yeah,
it's looking pretty good,
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
and I think it would be fun. Very soon, it will have a nice growth.
yeah, yeah.
And just for other folks who are joining in, we actually very close to Pune, within the city limits, I would say, in Baner. We
Yeah,
have Royal Farms family. If
yeah.
you come towards Vibigore School in Balewadi, just the road next to it takes you a kilometer down the line. You reach to this farm, and you get an option of taking small plots. You can take from 1200 square foot to 4000 to even an acre land. And if you want to do a personal farming or a commercial farming, you can come and do it over here in Pune. And the expertise is you would be provided with everything pertaining to the seeds, the saplings, the manure. You would be provided with weekly cleanups, maintenance, and also guiding you from the harvesting point of view, what works well, when. Um, if I can, I don't know if you guys can still see my screen. This is our small farm of concept slabs actually, and we have a bunch of fresh coriander, spinach, even corn. We have put up some nice sunflowers, some marigolds out here. So it's a lovely, lovely little farm. I think this corn will be getting ready very soon. So
Shiv will be interested to have a separate event on your farming aspects, and like we can
ab-
take it further. Maybe in the month of
absolutely,
Jan, we are planning one event with the people down south. In the meantime, I have one more kid joined from Chennai,
sure.
Mr. Balaji Vardhan. I call
Sure.
him kid because you play with paper, he plays with robots. So I call upon Balaji to join immediately.
Thank you so much, sir. Hi, everyone.
Hello,
Hope I'm
hello.
Welcome,
audible.
Balaji.
I'm visible.
So it has been a long wait for us, but nevertheless, just to give a brief, Balaji, what has happened in the last hour or so? Okay, these people have a company called startup called Concept Lab. So
Okay.
they come out with some innovative idea of creating circuits through which they can educate people using papers. It is
Interesting.
not just like playing with paper or something like that. So maybe down the line we'll share more details with you. So
Okay.
I now request you for the benefit of the viewers, like you give a self introduction and start with your today's agenda.
Okay. So thank you so much, sir. So once again, formally, very good evening to one and all. So I'm Balaji Vardhan here. I'm the CEO and founder of a company, edutech startup company called Asimu Global Technologies, which is based out of Chennai. And what we do is we take training and development and research and development on five major domains. That is 21st century technology skills we call in terms of education. So that's robotics, IoT, and artificial intelligence, 3D printing technology, and drones and aero modeling. So this is what we do. So this we started as like start from 2 days workshop, and we take it till R&D or product development level, both in school level as well as college and incubation centers. So that's what we do, and we have conducted. We almost trained almost 7,000 plus students over the years, and we are a 2-year-old company. So our objective, our mission is to bring more of innovators. It should not be in the credit of my company or on my name, any patent or any innovation that comes in all of this 5 or 6 domains. So we always wish we should, give a platform to all the rural students or the school students where they don't have any idea, or where they need a little push, or whether they need a little support. So that's where we wanted to try and reach more of students, where we'll get more idea, and where we'll raise more of innovators and innovations. So that's our strong motto. And next 5 years or 10 years, this fields or all these domains is going to play a very major role in terms of innovations, in terms of employability skills. So all these things. So we are very happy, or we are very much excited that we are on the right track and we can impact more number of younger generation. So that's a
You've
short.
heard about your Tamil robo community.
Yes. So again, as we said, this is a social entrepreneurship kind of model. So all we do is we don't take we wanted to spread awareness on this technology, where the school kids, like especially the government school, where they don't have scope of learning all this technology, where they don't have any institute, or where they don't have a curriculum, structured curriculum to take all these subjects. So that where Tamil Robotics Club, it is again our social entrepreneur organization, where we go and give free awareness or free workshop to the school students. So they will have an idea what is robotics is all about, or what is the drone, and why should I learn drone, and why should I learn artificial intelligence. So all these things we inculcate in the beginning stage or the earliest stage for the government school students. And we have so much of innovations in the pipeline. Hopefully over after this corona, we might be able to have a full run.
Great, great.
Anything you did during this Corona, Balaji, for this using your drones, maybe to sprinkle the disinfectant or whatever it is,
There are a
sanitizer.
lot of things. There are a lot of things, because especially every coin has both sides. Similarly, in life, whenever there is a disaster or any bad thing happen, there is always a good thing to find out, or there is an opportunity in every problem. Similarly, this Corona thing has, definitely done a very good thing on the awareness of drones, especially would say. குறிப்பா நம்ம ஊர்ல in தமிழ்நாடு and all, people must have seen the drone chasing the boys who are playing in the ground during this lockdown. So that's where, like, but it must have been a very funny thing to notice. But the police department or the corporation department, or during this lockdown or during this pandemic situation, the importance of drone has been very major, or it's been very phenomenal, or you must have seen in the media and all. So the drones have been used in most of the surveillance purpose, as well as broadcast, as well as even for pesticide spraying. So even in MIT and all, so people have helped with the Chennai Corporation, and they have even for the skyscrapers and government buildings and all, where the janitors or the frontline workers, they cannot reach the top of the building and all. So there, there is a huge scope that, or the drones have been very instrumental in spraying the pesticide and all. Similarly, robotics has also done a lot of things in the COVID situation. So now people, like, who are like previously when I ask about where you have seen a drone, or where we have seen an robot and all, people will normally say that in a marriage hall. Like whenever I ask college students or anyone where you have seen a drone, they might simply say, okay, where they take a photo shoot and all. But now during this COVID situation and all, the real purpose of drone, it is not only the surveillance, it is also the broadcast, and even it has done a lot of things in the other countries like China and all, where people don't have to walk into the hospital, or even the frontline workers don't have to go to the every house in the apartment. A drone will go and stand in the front of their balcony, so that drone itself will take a temperature of the patient, and it will take all the information, basic information of the inmates. So in that way, the contactless treatment, or the contactless things have been happening. There are a lot of things happening around drones, sir, especially in this COVID. Sorry, your mic is on mute.
Yeah, excellent. That is, what made you to venture into this robotics and automation? Because today's topic is about the automation and renovations for the startups. Okay, so what made you to get into this, and how would you like to take it further?
Sure, it's a very excellent question, sir. Because anywhere, I advise the entrepreneurs or the startup companies to have one thing in mind. Because when you have an idea, people, or when you have idea and a little bit of money, people go and start the business. So this is a common mistake. Anyone, any team, or any individual is doing. Even I did the same when I started my own first startup. But then the purpose is not, because we know what to do, we know how to do, we know when to do. So these three questions is very easy. When you wanted to start a restaurant, or when you wanted to have an innovative idea, you know what to do, you know how to do, you know when to do. But during the implementation, you fail in that. That's where it, the success ratio, or the success is really matters. But when it comes to me personally, I should always start with why am I doing this business, why I'm starting this startup, why I'm bringing this innovation. So as sir, your question, I'm a first generation graduate in my family. I come from a very rural background. Similarly, my team, as well as the Balaji too, as well as Balaji Mari, we all come from south. So where the studying English medium, or getting into a technical education, or starting up a business, it's very challenging. We don't have a platform support, we don't have a proper education background support with family side and all. So that's when, but we had a lot of ideas, we were good at studies, so all this thing. So we decided, I decided, we wanted to touch many lives, so I can instigate, or I can motivate more people. That's my positivity, or that's my confidence. But then I wanted to start a business, or I wanted to have a company where that is going to long sustainable. So all these things, whatever I told, so these are all not structured in a Indian curriculum or books. So, but these things are going to have major impact in the next 5 year, or next 10 years and all this drone piloting, drone fabrication company, and drone things in the construction side, real estate side, and robotics automation in all of the healthcare, starting from healthcare till industry till logistic thing. It is going to have a very major impact. So I wanted to take this at the root level. So I wanted to teach this to the school kids, where they'll get an idea, more innovation. So where I missed that during my school days, where these people will get a more idea. So we'll nurture them, we'll mentor them, and we'll get the idea, or we'll take them to the patent or product level. So in such case, it will be a cycle, like an idea and training and development, an idea, a prototype, and then a product, and then commercialize it. So I wanted to have it as a whole circle. So that's what we do, and that is the purpose. That's my intention, or that's my objective, I would say. Same with my company. In one word, or in a nutshell, I wanted to bring out more of innovators at the young age.
Okay, one thing is enthusiasm and community development. It's all okay. Robotics or any electronics per se, for that matter, is very expensive. Okay, for somebody to come and put his hands and try something innovative or whatever it is. So, how you are going to encourage your team? Then how you are managing it? Where from the funds come?
Okay. As usual, anything that is going to take a cost, which is going to be challenging, or which is innovative or new, it is going to take a huge leap, or a step of faith. Any business, not only in robotics, anything which is new, or it is going to, from when you look at the other side, it is going to be see expensive. But we would say it is not expensive. I'm not just saying it for the sake of for my business. But robotics, or either it is going to be a training development, or it is going to be a research and development. Robotics and drones are not at all expensive. When it comes to any other research and development with the healthcare, or with media, or with visual communication, or anywhere you take up a course for gaining knowledge, it is our robotic courses, or our IoT or artificial intelligence or 3D printing courses are very much affordable, and it is very much lesser. I would say we like one third. If any technology for mechanical department, EC department, or any relevant departments, whenever they have a workshop, they have a standard cost. Ours is very much affordable to that. And when it comes to research and development, if a school kids, moreover, I would like to emphasize that usually the entire globe is going on one structured teaching methodology called STEM education: science, technology, engineering, and maths, for teaching all this robotics, coding, and all. But we are trying to introduce a new teaching methodology called STEP education: science, technology, engineering, and product or a prototype. So whenever a kid or whenever a young entrepreneur come and join us, so at the end of our course module or the end of our training module, they will be able to make their own product or project. So that's what we have planned. So for this, we have introduced a step education. So that's what we believe in. For example, for to make an can you imagine to make an 6 feet robot, functional at the basic level? It won't even take more than 20,000 or 25,000. Like if you can join like 4 or 5, 6 members in your team, they can easily make it. But then you make it as a humanoid, like in movies and all, or fully functional robot பண்ணணும்னா that needs more of a fund from other team, or for the venturing and all, which is going to be heaven. But to make a prototype or student level or researcher level, or from an innovator level, these funds are very much affordable at this point, sir. That's what.
So, any such project that you have handled which has served the community or maybe used in any other particular mission or something like that?
No, we do have such products that's likely for to be online from the next month. During the COVID, we have developed one nurse bot, that is a robot COVID warrior bot, and we have even developed one 3D printed mask. Like usually, that is an open source, that is an open thing. 3D printing technology is something called. This is the same technology which is used in space. A 3D printer machine which will print your own product. You can fabricate your own product. For example, if you lost a key of your keypad, mobile pad, or your keyboard, you don't have to replace the entire keyboard. So you can just, if you know how to design, your kid would fabricate that particular keyboard key for you. So this level of technology is applied in space. So this is one of the technologies that we teach for the students also. So we have done a few prototypes with the 3D printing model, and with the robot. Yes, for the COVID, we have developed one COVID-19 robot. Right now, I cannot reveal the image, or for some reason, but when the next coming month, or maybe in our next expo, that would steal our the entire show. I would bet on that. And we are working on a drone where it will go and spray the pesticide. It is an agri culture drone. It is an agri based drone where it will replace the human loss, or it will minimize the human loss and other thing from the crop cultivation. So that will spray the uniform spray in the pesticide. And we also have a low cost tractor which is going to perform 5 jobs at one stretch: plowing, seeding, watering, and other things. So we have so many patented in pipeline. So thanks for the wait. It is taking a good shape. Probably in the next month we'll have it as a good expo from our own company itself.
Okay, so you are taking it project by project or product by product. How is that? What is your approach? Why I am asking it? Okay, see, the this particular program is exclusively for the startups to get innovative ideas.
Exactly.
Okay, you have conceived so many concepts and doing. Where from you derive these concepts? Anybody has suggested you? Yeah, you look at various things and then okay, what is the reason? What is the reason that for you to, let's say that tractor you are talking about which can perform the multiple tasks? Why that project? Why it is to be developed?
Okay. So this I'm just relating with my first question. As I said, we all come from a very poor background, so we wanted to create an impact from the root cause. So this is one of the product which is developed by Mr. Balaji Thuru, is my business associate. He comes from a carpenter. I mean, his father was a carpenter, and his entire family was a farmer. So he wanted to do something with the things which he have seen as a major challenges during his childhood. So that's the result of the product, and also we see that it's a problem statement to be addressed. So as I said, ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ் ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணும்போது நம்ம என்ன பண்றோம், எப்படி பண்றோம், எப்போ பண்ண போறோன்றதை விட எதுக்காக அதை பண்றோம்
Sir,
அப்படின்றது.
I one small request. Please keep it in English because it is
Excuse me.
multiple
Okay.
audiences.
So as I was saying, any business, any entrepreneur or any innovator, they would always have a very clear mind on why I'm doing this, when I'm doing this, how I'm doing this. But why should I do this business? If that reason is very strong, that business will never go in vain, or that will never fail. That's my belief, and that is the whole proof model of many successful business owners or entrepreneurs. So in such case, we would always identify the problem statement in the society first. Then we'll work on the R&D, research and development. Then we come up with a product or a prototype. So this is our approach, because rather than, there are a lot of innovations, because imagination has no boundaries, right? So innovation, we have a lot of things to innovate, but our approach is to identify the problem statement in the society or the community. Then we work on it, then we come up with the model, then again we work on the low cost commercialization. So that's what we believe. For example, now I told you about drone as well as this tractor. Again, if you wanted to commercialize, if you wanted to sell it to, most of the farmers, it is going to take another over a period of time to make it as a business model. So we work on that level also, not only with the product level, we work on the business commercialization also. Similarly with the drone, everyone must be thinking, why should a farmer buy a drone, or why should a farmer, how can a farmer afford to buy a drone? So our concept is very simple. We don't have to. We are not going to sell the drone. We are going to rent it. So similarly, like during the traditional method, everyone is doing the plowing manual. But when the thing called tractor was introduced, not everyone is very happy, or not everyone welcomed that. So they look that as a major threat to the, their cultivation or occupation or employability. But then now you cannot see any village without a tractor. But again, in every village there is only one or two major tractors. Other people would rent it. So similarly, our model will also be like, we'll form a social hub or a social community kind of thing, where the farmers will come and rent our drone in a low cost level, so they can finish up the work in very, minimal time. So that will save the time, cost, as well as, the human loss also.
How would you analyze the demand? For example, say let's say you are in Chennai and somebody wants somewhere in a nearby area like Kanchipuram or Chengalpat, whatever it is. How do you reach them? How somebody can reach you, and then how it can be
So that's what I
exchanged?
Okay, we would plan to have regional hubs, or where, like in Tamil Nadu there is something called this cooperative society. So every farmer, or every farmer will go to the nearest bank or the nearest cooperative society to buy the seed, to buy their own equipment at the low cost or with the subsidy. So we wanted to go with the same flow or the same model. So that's the thing we are working. That is where we might be looking for an investment, where we wanted to expand the business, where every end user can come and approach. As I said, we cannot sell this business or sell this idea from Chennai, based out of Chennai. This is going to be down south. For example, if any farmer from Coimbatore or Kunnur, they wanted to have their pesticide spray for their tea estate or for the any other crop, they must be easily approached within 10 or 15 kilometers of range. So that's the thing we are planning on. So that particular model needs an investment. We are looking for a fundraiser, of course.
No, yeah, what it can do is like, okay, identify like-minded guys who are willing to join with you and then make the product. Because what you say is it doesn't require more than 20,000 or whatever it is. So one can definitely afford to have it, and maybe follow an Uber model or Ola model, like okay, develop an app and populate it within the fraternity, and then if anybody requires it, identify the nearest location and call for it or something like that. I think that could be a viable model. I do not. You might have a better game plan.
Sure, sure. Definitely. That's a very good suggestion. We are also working on that. As I said, the formation of Tamil Robotics Club is not to work as a single company. We wanted to try all the try to bring all the robotics company or all the startups like me to come under one umbrella or to come under one community, so that everyone will have an equal share or everyone will have an equal idea and equal responsibility. Because the thing what I believe in is I believe in collaboration rather than competition. Because I am a startup company, I am a robotics company, and any XYZ company, he might also have the same idea and same innovation. It is nothing like new. Anyone come up with an innovation, but the real success comes in the collaboration or how we take that product to the market. So for that, we are very open minded, or we invite many people to come and join us as a community. So everyone will have the equal credit and equal. We don't have to worry on those parts. Also, we can grow together. The success to time taken to the success, it will be very shorter in terms of collaboration rather than competition.
So, how do you find the competition between the existing people who have invested lakhs and lakhs of rupees, or maybe borrowed a huge amount from bank and purchased the tractor and so on and so forth? And you say that no, my investment is within lakh or so, and so many people can come into that. Are you not depriving or poking your nose into the territory of other person who is already either making money or making, maybe even you might have even invested and like expecting some turnaround?
Yes, definitely, sir. Actually, this is a very diplomatic question. And if I wanted to give a very honest answer, this has happened in any innovation. Because see, we have seen the change from discoveries. There was a time only discoveries was happening, and then there was a time only inventions were happening. But thank God and thank science, now we don't have to invent something very new. Our ancestors have already done enough thing for us. All we are going to do is add a technology to make human life very better and things very easier. So that's what we are doing it. So in such case, all my innovations, all of our innovations is going to add value, or it is going to cut down the time. That's what we are focused on. So it is not going to replace or cut down the human the manpower or the threat to the existing technology or something like that. Of course, tractor we are going to convert it as an tractor bot or agri bot. We'll add IoT to that, so it will have an automated plowing. So that's what we are planning.
Yeah, that's
So
what my side question was, that are you planning to say, extend your
integrate.
services to other people, like keeping some IoTs or boat or whatever it is? Why? Because in our community we have one startup from this startup gram from Kerala, from Kochi. It's okay. So one Mr. Vimal is there, VI Innovation, something like that. So what
Okay.
he has developed is again Android based app or something like that, which can control and then automate your entire four wheeler.
Yes.
Your window pans can be with one touch, it can be, and then like a AC and this stereo systems, everything GPS attached to it and so on. So he has innovated and he is now pitching it in our pitch day for this fundraising or something like that. So instead of developing something and like putting into much money into that, the innovation could be useful to entire community. Not only that, okay, you want to create a atmosphere wherein okay the nearest 15 kilometers somebody will go. So my suggestion will be rather to go for an app, some Uber type of app where you can identify and aggregate everybody, and in turn you upgrade their equipment so that it can be a multi-purpose, and which will be a win-win for you also. The quantum of funding that you are expanding, that will come automatically. Maybe the person who himself may fund you, or maybe you can, people will come forth, you are doing empowerment rather than creating a competition within the system. So that is quite feasible. That is my opinion. So any thought on that?
Yeah, yeah. I really value your opinion. That's what we are working on. As I said, uh, IoT is separate field. I spoke only about drones and robotics, where it's a new idea, it's a new product. But IoT is something. It'll go and add value to the existing product, especially in the field of agriculture. We focus more, so we wanted to have a like smart home or smart vehicle and all. We wanted to have smart farming in the future. So drones might be helping with the water level management, soil moisture content. It will be monitored and it will be text to the farmer's mobile, so they don't have to walk into the farm to turn off their pump sets and all. So that's a level of thing. So the all these things does not need any new equipment or any new thing to be replaced by some other thing or competition and all we are doing is adding more value to the existing technology. All these things app and IoT based. So this will monitor the temperature. It will test the soil content. It will also give us the data on the nutrition. So all these things it will be monitored and it will be given as a data to the farmer as well as to the farmhouse. So even the tractor, when it is automated, it will do the plowing on us, and we can do the 3D mapping of the agri land through drone. So it is an entire cluster that is happening. It has been already implemented in many Western countries, but it is in a transitional stage. So the same thing we are also trying to do it in our country. So it will not be a replacement of any other existing thing, but rather it will be adding value or adding an innovation to the existing technology or an equipment.
I
Or even
remember.
if it is going to be a threat, if a drone or thing, people would think like, okay, what if drone is going to deliver products? What will happen to the Uber drivers or what will happen? So see, so one thing is, it's drones, autonomous drone, it's not going to take the entire field, because there, imagine if there are going to be 1,000 drones or 1 million drone. Imagine the number of employability in terms of production side, fabrication side, and drone piloting side. So it is going to scale up. It is not, no one is going to lose a job. Obviously it is going to be doubled, or it is going to be more. But we have to upgrade ourselves. The younger generation has to
Yeah,
upgrade.
upgradation and innovation is the must. That is
It has
the
to be.
bottom line of the story. Yeah.
They cannot sit at the same level and think that, okay, I'm losing the job. If you're really scared about losing your job, learn a new technology, upgrade yourself. That's what
One
we.
has to. Any technology for that matter, like I consider is like a dead fish there in your fridge. Either you
Exactly.
eat it the same day or throw it away the next day. That is the
Very true.
okay.
Very true.
So taking it down further, it has been very quite interesting interaction with you. So do you have any presentation or something like that to show it to the people, like your journey or about with respect to specific that how innovation can be helpful to them, or any some tips to carry out maybe the in the stage of stage one, stage two, stage three, something like that. Do you have anything to share it with them?
We have a lot of I have a lot of presentation, but for today's context, I would say I can give we have spoke about the lot of things happening with the corona thing. So let me see that if I can you see my screen, sir?
Have you shared it? Yeah, yeah. It is there.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
all I'm just taking COVID. Why I'm taking COVID as a situation or COVID as an example is so people can easily relate. In spite of this pandemic or in spite of this corona, how a problem can give us a lot of opportunities for innovation. See, these are a small level of robots, because whenever you go to an hospital, the first level, the registration part, the frontline workers is where the threat of spreading is more. So there are this interactive robots with the AI with camera has been introduced in most of the hospitals, so that that will take the minimal questions or the first level of uh, screening from the patients without the contact. Similarly, the sterilization, because imagine this disease has given us a lot of challenge and threat, right? So it has told us like when you touch or when you sneeze or when you even touch the objects and all, the infection is rate is high. So in such case, imagine how would they sterilize the entire clinical facility. Imagine hospital bed and all. So In that UV light, this technology has been used to disinfect the sensitive places, even the aircraft and all. The same technology has been applied. So this is another innovation. And for the isolation award and all, ward and all, like where there are a lot of corona patients and they have to be given the medicines or food and all, this kind of multi-trade robots have been deployed. So this is again yet another all these products, whatever all these innovations I'm telling you, these things never existed, but people make use of this opportunity. So they come up with their own ideas. So there are a lot of nurse assistant bots have been introduced in Japan and China to manage the situation, and to spray the disinfectant or to for example our streets and all in countries like India or cities like Chennai and all, you must have seen how to disinfect the entire infected area or the lockdown area. So all these terrain robots will definitely play a major role to spray the disinfectant part. Similarly, drones, as I said, like surveillance, not only to look out the kids who are playing cricket during the lockdown, but this technology is going to have a major impact during the surveillance and broadcast. For example, in future and all, like people where there will be a lot of gatherings like Marina Beach and all. So these things, the police, the traditional method of where police have been running through the towers to go on a proper line or to be aware of their belongings and all these things can be easily done through drone broadcast and surveillance. So this also yet another innovation. And where the spray like people cannot, or even the firemen cannot reach for the skyscrapers and all. So this technology has been used to spray disinfectant for the high rise building. And the medicine grocery has been delivered with the western countries to contactless entry. And this is what the thing I spoke about, like countries like Hong Kong and China, no doubt, where people stay in a high-rise building. So to check their or to monitor their health, if frontline workers to go for the every appointment, or the people coming down to the health check facility, it is going to be a tedious job. But wherein the people will come and stand in the balcony for a short while, so that will again take the temperature through infrared and through some basic vision. So all these things can be done. So all these innovations is has taken that has taken it did not take time. All it took is this pandemic has given us an opportunity to come up with all this innovation. So that's what I would advise for today's innovators or today's startup companies also. When you don't wait for your own innovation, identify the problem statement, identify what the society needs, or what is this the world needs now. You focus or you shift your focus on the R&D for this all this kind of thing. Then you would be able to come up with your own idea. You can develop your own product or project, and then your success rates comes in again building a business, because your idea is an idea until you develop a product or a prototype. But to what is the purpose of, either it is going to be a service based company or it is a product based company, come up with a very clear pitch deck, or come up with a also focus on that, because as an innovator you cannot do that, but have a team where you can help or take some help on giving a complete pitch. That's where you become a complete entrepreneur. Yes, sir. So this is about the right now innovation opportunities have shared. Similarly, there are a lot of things with the agriculture also, as I said. So you can see. So the sense of the IoT thing, you can see like these are things existing in the other countries. Like these are the IoT products that will give data for plant and plant conditioning for better gardening and all. So as I said, in future it will be like this, where you can test, or you can have the moisture, temperature, water, and light through IoT sensors itself. So it will be again given to the data processing, and it will be stored in the cloud, so that the farmer will have a general idea. Uh, it will send the data to the user. And I spoke about, this would be the future, like the tractor, the integration that we are planning, or any company or any innovation company can focus on this. Such kind of innovation where it will be a smart tractor, or smart system. So this, you can have the farming data, where the cattle and all will also have a sensor, so you can easily monitor their movement and their health and nutrition part. And there will be smart tractors. It will be GPS controlled, so it will be functioning optimal with the planning, reduces soil erosion. So this again saves fuel cost by almost 10%. So there will be fleet of agribots to do the robots capable of application, like minor applications. So again, drones, all these aerial drones that will have the idea of, or that will easily give us a data on the mapping part. So finally, all this data will be processed and will be given to the data transmission performer, so that end user will have all the data on the go. So I've just given you a slide where this will be again overhead when you look at it as a single slide, but we'll have a different session. If it is going to be a webinar or a kind of teaching session, we'll have 1 hour or more than 2 hours, where we have IoT in agriculture alone as a different subject, and drone farming alone as a different, and robots in agriculture, robots in education as a different. We'll have a series kind of thing, webinar series kind of
That
thing.
is quite true. See, technology for the agricultural development is going to be beneficial in two ways. One is okay, the yield and the productivity is going to increase. That is point number one. And point number two, the educated youth turning towards the rural segment and like opting to go and support and then work on the agriculture. That is basically because that has been the biggest complaint from everybody, like all the educated boys like migrating to the state, I mean the main cities, and
Right.
the agriculture will be ignored. So this is one nice initiative and it's a very good thought process that you have initiated. So we heartily congratulate. So
Thank you.
here, what I suppose and I can support, we can support from India Startup 360 is, I would definitely like to show you some of our initiatives. See, here we write about the stories of entrepreneurs who are there on different segment.
Okay.
So we write some inspiring stories about the people who do something out of the box. Maybe a gentleman like you or whatever it is. Of course, Major General Tajuddin was our special invitee in the morning, and he had shared his. So we have quite a lot of people. He is an IITian and doing something in nutraceutical or something like that. Has come out with some natural products manufacturing there in the northernmost part of India or something like that. So this girl is again from Chennai who has ventured into business at the age of 19 and having a startup in Pune. So he is a gentleman like working with hotels like Marriott and Taj and all. Like he quit their job and doing something on the food processing, something like that. So that is one part. And the manufacturing industries, we write some stories. And one part what we write is about the talk of the town. Any specific notable or interesting development in any specific city, we write about them and then we cover it exhaustively. So you can see various sort of projects. So whenever you find time, I request you to visit the portal and then have a look at it. And
Sure.
we'll be more interested to cover the stories from your segment as well. Suppose your community has got, let's say, 100, 200 guys working on certain applications like this. You can share the details, a brief about that, maybe our profile along with the photos and achievement. We'll be definitely interested to cover it and take it to the people, and it will be a win-win scenario for everybody for that matter, not only for them. And we can definitely help create an awareness in the society that's itself.
I do really
So
appreciate. Thank you so much for that information.
so this, of course, if you feel that no, okay, this virtual platform can be utilized in any ways format that you require, we'll be definitely to willing to support you. So thank you, Balaji, for your valuable time
You're
and
most
sharing
welcome.
your thought process. So, with this note, we'll conclude today's session, and I am looking forward to work closely with your robotic society and then create an awareness and also take things further. So,
Sure.
please share your views and spread the news about this particular initiative as well, so
Sure.
that more and more people join our mission and help the community. So, thanks and nice. Thanks for joining. Thank you very
Thank you so
much.
much. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I wish everyone a very safe and healthy life. See you once again. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.